Hello, everybody. Welcome to Roll 'em If You Got 'em. I am Dakota, and as always, I'm joined with by Carl.
Hey, everybody.
And in today's episode for 6 Weeks of SLAPCHOP, you are going to see me painting a Sons of Malice in SLAPCHOP yet again.
Yeah, again, you hear the enthusiasm in his voice, folks. Can't
Yeah,
contain himself.
can't contain myself with the SLAPCHOP. So here you see the model I got going. Basically, just starting out with some contrast Black Legion. Really, their style is, I wouldn't say like checkerboardy. It's like opposite so like one leg black, one arm black, like chest opposite. It's pretty cool. You'll see the kind of the full thing at the end. But I start out with that. Obviously you see me in it more. I was a little bit better about getting the contrast on this time. I wouldn't say thinned them out, but I just kind of controlled it off my brush a little bit more. So it was
Did
better.
you put less on your brush, or were you
Yeah.
just more okay?
Yeah, I put less, so I'd like get it off, wipe a bunch off, that type of deal.
Okay. Yeah, and
Um,
he has a little more of a slap choppy look than some of the previous dudes. You see a little bit more of the black in the recesses and things like that.
Yeah. The thing too, I think it helps is he's just got more detail. I mean, like he's got more like skulls and like crevices compared to just like a normal Space Marine who's just very flat. So like
That's
when
true.
you drive brush, just it ends up being better.
Yeah, the chaos dudes have a little more forgiving
Yeah.
slap chop kind of deal.
Yep. And then you see me here doing Apothecary White, which as I'm doing this, I'm like, I'm not even doing anything, but I'm like, I'm gonna cover it just to make sure all the finish is the same. Like it doesn't really do much. Like
I don't
I know
know.
I mean it does some,
I
but
think it does just enough. Like, I
yeah.
mean, white armor has to be super difficult to pull off,
Yeah.
and I think it adds just like a little bit of grayness to it. If you really wanted to make it pop, I don't know what the contrast equivalent is, but like a really light gray, and then hit like the bottom part of the plate, so just kind of wet blend it with the white.
Yeah, you could. They don't really have like light gray, I guess. I mean, they have like some more shades and stuff, but I mean, yeah. I mean, they just kind of have like a dark gray. I mean, it turned out what I wanted it to.
Oh,
And
it looks, yeah,
yeah,
I like it. I think it
hmm
looked
I
cool.
did have to go back through doing the black and basically like line up where it might have like overflowed a little bit. I just took like white paint and like edged it out.
Okay.
As you've kind of seen here, going through the red, doing some Blood Angels red. I always do gun casings in red. I just feel like it makes it pop more, especially with this dude because he's black and white. I was like, let's give him some stuff that pops. And then I did his little loincloth in red also, just kind of make him a little bit more poppy.
Yeah, I think the red, I mean, you get really nice contrast, pun
Mhm.
unintended,
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the black and white. Like,
yeah. You got to make it a little bit more visually appeasing.
really directs the eye.
hmm and then these are kind of some of the parts that I thought turned out the best were these skulls all over the dude. Hit it with just skeleton horde. I mean, obviously they, dry brushed really well with like dark recesses and everything. Um,
Yeah,
and it just worked.
stuff like this is super slap chop friendly, you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah, and then this skull on the shoulder pad I thought just turned out really well. Um, just for how much contrast was in it.
hmm
Um, and then you see here I am doing, I believe it was either dark aluminum or steel or something like that. Um, just all over the metal bits, kind of his harness thing. And obviously he's a Chaos Space Marine, so there's just a ton of trim. So really just trimming him out in all this metal. Um, with this, I don't go back and shade it. I'm just like one coat and done because this stuff's pretty thin. So I'm not trying to like contrast it on, but I don't know, it kind of works.
Yeah, it kind of like contrasts itself almost.
Yeah. And really too, while you guys are seeing more of this, Sons of Malice, they're a Chaos Space Marine, like I don't know, like I'm gonna say like sub chapter, but almost like a sub faction. This is one of those projects I've been wanting to like work on for a while, and he's one
hmm
of like two dudes that I have done for it, and I just never find myself obviously getting to it. But really, they're just like a renegade chapter. I always thought the colors are cool. They have some pretty cool lore if you want to look them up. Basically, Imperium turned them, made them renegade. Like we're like, oh, you guys are pretty heretical. Like you guys are doing some pretty messed up shit there. Um, but yeah, look out some lore. It's pretty good. But I believe this is most everything done. I mean, I did go back through and pick out some details like the arm arm sleeve inside there, and obviously like snakebite leather here on the pouches and the belt. And if you do see, I did do his helmet lenses in red also. Which
Okay, yeah.
yeah, I forgot to like film that, and then I was like, oh, those need to be red.
For sure. Yeah, those look way better in the red.
Yeah, I mean, so this is it. I mean, I thought he turned out pretty well. I mean, still some of those flat areas are messed up, but it is what it is almost.
Yeah, no, I think they're super cool. They have like they always remind me of Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Just like the there's like who's the checkerboard?
The Mad Hatter.
Yeah, I don't know, just kind of their whole theme just reminds me of Alice in Wonderland, like
Yeah.
in I like Alice in Wonderland a lot. But um it's of like the best Disney product out there. But yeah, I don't know. These guys, I've just always thought they were super cool. Like the first time you told me about them, and
Yeah. I feel like I stumbled across them when I was looking at some stuff, and then I was like, "Oh, I want to do that." And then just as I've gone through, I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever have the CSM army or paint them up or whatever." So it's like, yeah, I have like a unit of dudes that are slowly gonna eventually get painted, and then
right?
we'll see if it ever grows from there.
Yeah, these guys were kind of like the first time I think I ever learned about like there's 1,000 other like Space Marine and Cast Space Marine and just like sub chapters, like like an unlimited number, and then like orcs have them, and literally everyone has these tiny little chapters, a lot of which are fan made, but they're very well fleshed out. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know this part of Warhammer existed when I kind of first got into Warhammer. And I think these guys were like my intro into the things that you're not going to see in a codex kind of thing.
Yeah. Yep. For sure.
So
yeah. Well, all
pretty
right.
pretty neat stuff.
Yeah. They're pretty cool. All right. Well, that's all we have for this one. Thanks for joining us. Do check out some of our other videos. We're on what are we in week 3 of 6 weeks of
We're
SLAPCHOP?
on week 3. I'm not certain I'm going to get a video out this week. I've had
You've got a lot going on.
I've had a lot of life in the last whatever 5 days. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
So you guys might get like a few of Dakota Slapchop videos in a row, and then you might get a few of mine. And 6 weeks of Slapchop might end up being like 7 or 8 weeks by the time I get all these videos out.
Right.
But yeah, stay tuned, and we got more fun stuff coming. Let us know what you think of the Sons of Malice here, and if you've painted any like obscure Space Marine chapters, let us know about those too.
Yep.
All right.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.